My name is Adam. I live a pretty normal life, just kind of doing normal things as a normal 17, 18-year-old guy would do. The idea of a zombie apocalypse really it baffled me. It sparked my creativity. It got me really thinking a lot. I remember staying up for hours, just absolute hours, just sitting on my computer on Skype talking to my friends about the zombie apocalypse, how it was going to happen, how it was going to go down, who was going to die first, what weapons I would use and when and where I would go and all this crazy, crazy stuff. And I never really knew how unprepared I would be when it actually happened. So I remember where I was at the current time. I'm actually still there. I was on it was in my house. I was just sitting at home. I was on my computer actually. I was watching a live stream, a gaming live stream, and I was really really enjoying it until all of a sudden the emergency broadcast came on and I couldn't believe it. I froze. I didn't know what to do. Like I was just sitting in my chair just trying to take in the fact that the zombie apocalypse has happened. I mean, I'm thinking back to all the stuff that me and my friends have talked about, and it's just, it means nothing to me now. I mean, I've talked about, oh, I'm going to go get a katana, and I have a couple guns in the house and stuff like that. No, just the mindset that the zombie apocalypse put me in, it was amazing. It was absolutely unbelievable. Just the amount of helplessness that you feel, the amount of having the hopelessness, the amount of hopelessness that you feel, it's just overwhelming. I think it took me over an hour just to make it up from my basement where I heard the broadcast. I needed my mom to come downstairs to get me out of the shock, out of the distress, the utter frozenness that I was in. I needed my mom to come down and spark me out of it. It was crazy. Now, the second it happened, I was trying to think back of what we should do and what all of like the TV shows and the books and the magazines and the movies and stuff, what they told me to do, because I mean, that's the only thing I had to go off of. I have my own thoughts, but my mind was so distraught and boggled that I could barely even trust them. So the first thing we did was we gathered. We gathered as much as we could. We knew not to go to the Walmarts, to the Centuries, to the big brand food stores. We knew not to go to those. We tried to scavenger from the small town stuff, like the little mini restaurants, the little food stores, and we actually got a lot of food. We were able to fill up the back of the truck and most of my car, my 2010 Chevy Malibu. Oh man, I love that car. But we got a lot of food to hold out us for a very, very long time. And we actually also got some dog food for my dog Izzy, a golden doodle. And oh man, that dog, I miss it. But we made it home. We just did anything we possibly thought we could do. We boarded up all of the doors except one door, which we kind of like half makeshift boarded up in order to like to get out if we needed to. Like we didn't have a secret tunnel to get out of the house or that ends like a block down or something like that. We didn't have that. So we had our secret tunnel. No, we didn't have our secret tunnel. Oh my God, this is tearing me apart. We did not have our secret tunnel. We had our half boarded up door, and we wanted to wait it out. We did have our cell phones still for some reason. I don't know how it was, but it was about a month and a half when the cell phone towers actually got taken out. Like we were able to talk to people and communicate and figure out a way to work this out, to survive through the apocalypse. But I mean, you'd think after a month and a half that we would actually be able to get somewhere. I mean, a month and a half of news programs. Some news programs were up, some were not, some were up. A month and a half of YouTube videos to try to communicate with people. A month and a half of Twitter, of Facebook, of Tumblr, of a million other social media websites. And we got nothing done. we got nothing done. I thought the CDC would maybe try to, do something about this, but they didn't. There was just nothing that could be done. And I mean, we decided to wait it out. We waited out for a very, very long time. And we had a lot of food. We were able to survive. Like, we were good. We did not have very many zombies coming in our area. And if we did, it was just 1 or 2 or max 5. We really didn't. Zombies were not a huge problem to us until about 2 months in. We were still good on food. We were still good on water. We stocked up so much on water. We had bottled water just forever. We had bottled water for the rest of our lives sitting in our basement. And we kind of went a little bit crazy in a way. I mean, we were tired of being boarded up in our houses. We were tired of being afraid of going outside, but we knew we couldn't do anything about it. We knew that we had to stay inside. And that kind of drove us mad a little bit. A big tipping point was when a random guy showed up to our house. A random guy showed up to our back door, which was our partially boarded up door, and we didn't let him in. He was being chased by one zombie, and we noticed that he had a bite mark on his arm. And the bite mark was a sure sign of death. I mean, the zombies, after they bit you, your fever would rise, your emotions start going all bonkers, your bones stiffen up, and we knew he was a goner, so we didn't let him in. We set him off on his own, and he did not make it far. We could hear his bone-shattering screams from who knows how far away he was, but we let him go. We sat in the corner of our house and just tried to wait it out. But after that was the tipping point. That was when we just couldn't take it anymore. So my dad and me, we did something that we should not have. We took our dog and us two, and we tried to venture out. We surveyed the area of our neighborhood for a while. I think we killed a zombie or 2, and we went back to our house. And that, oh my God, that was when it all went to worse. When we arrived back at our house, we saw that the back door was open, and right away our hearts just sunk. They just sunk all the way down to the bottom of our stomachs. We knew what happened, but we didn't want to know. We didn't want to accept it. We didn't want to think about it. But as we went inside, right at the back door, the kitchen is right there. The kitchen is the first room that you walk into. And on the side of the kitchen, the other side of our kitchen table, we saw the dismembered bodies of my mom and my sister. And we just couldn't believe it. We didn't know what to do. The zombies had already left. They've finished them off, and we just didn't know what to do. We ended up burying them in the backyard. And after that, nothing was really the same after that. We didn't talk a lot. Me and my dad, it was just us two and the dog. If Izzy, our dog, wasn't there, I don't really know what would have happened. I feel like Izzy kind of kept me and my father together as a group at that time, because we had to take care of the dog. We had to make sure the dog stayed alive, because it was a big asset to us. But after that day, that we didn't have much left in us. That really did suck. I'm sorry. That's my story. I'm still here, sitting in my house, waiting it out, waiting for something to happen, but so far with no avail. I hope other people out there have better luck than we do.